We have made it to Friday, everyone. Welcome into the News 10 Plus Digital Desk. I'm Taylor Gattoni with Studio 10's Nicole Buckman on this Friday.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
How's it going?
You know, we made it to Friday, and I'm very excited about that.
Yes.
Relaxing weekend ahead.
Very relaxing weekend ahead. But you know, on Studio 10, we love to kind of wrap up the week with a lot of fun and different activities to showcase what you can do this weekend if you don't have a lot of plans. But first, we have a lot of good guests today.
Ooh, all right.
Yes, so I'm going to give you that guest rundown. So February is Black History Month. So we are showcasing two great opportunities where you can learn more about the history of African American gospel music through, of course, concerts. You can't have that history without music. So we're super excited to invite two lovely ladies from the Friendship Baptist Church.
Okay.
They're coming in, and they're partnering with the Olivet Gospel Choir, which is exciting because I think, you know, Olivet is not too far from us, and there's so much talent down there. So we love it when we can bring them on.
Oh, yeah, and then just kind of collaborating the two. There you go.
Yes, definitely. So we'll hear a little bit of sneak peek to that concert that is happening on Friday. Plus, we have an artist, and you've seen his work all throughout Lansing. So the giraffe that you see at the Meijer at the Capital City Meijer, yes.
There's a West Saginaw Highway one.
Yeah,
yes.
that is the giraffe, but it's also depicted at Capital City Market.
Oh, yes.
On a mural. So a lot of murals throughout Lansing are done by this wonderful artist named Ryan. And actually, over the summer, I was able to judge the Chalk of the Town, which is where local artists got to do chalk work throughout Old Town, and he was one of the artists participating and actually won. So we're going to have him on, talk a little bit about his artwork, the meaning behind it, and then of course too, what message he hopes to portray during not just Black History Month, but here all year round.
Yeah.
So we're excited to have him on. I know, lots of talent. And then it is Friday, as we already mentioned. So we have 517 Friday, getting that rundown from Sarah Pierce from 517 Living Community, with a lot of fun events that are happening, from plays.
Lansing Winterfest?
And Winterfest.
All right.
Yes, definitely, because that's still going on. And then, I remember now. It's Friday. Yes. Fish fry starts. A lot of fish fries are starting today, which is, there's so many.
Yeah.
There's so many hot spots.
We're hearing about a lot.
Yes. So we're going over to the one in DeWitt, where they don't just have fish. They have a little bit of everything. I went there last year on my own, and it was, they know how to serve.
Are you going back there this year?
Yes, that's what Claudia's doing a pack. Oh, for sure. For sure.
Gotta get that food.
Yes, but Claudia gives us a little bit of behind the scenes of, you know, why we have these fish fries, how much work goes into them, and of course how the community likes getting involved, and how you can get involved too by eating or volunteering and all of that. So it's just going to be a great show for you today. We're super excited. Of course, it all starts at 3 p.m.
All right. Thank you, Nicole. We will see you coming up 3 o'clock today. But, of course, if you are busy, if you miss any segments from Studio 10, you can go to @WILX Studio 10 on any of their social media pages. Of course, if you want to interact with them on any of their questions, or if you have anyone to nominate for any of their special shout-outs, you can go to studio10@WILX.com. Also, if you're a business and you want to do some advertising or, you know, be highlighted on Studio 10, studio10@WILX.com. Great place to reach out. Or again, if you want to see any of their past segments, if you want to forward that link on, rewatch anything, go to @WILX Studio 10. You can head to their YouTube page. But of course, Nicole and I were teasing ahead some of the fun stuff happening this weekend, like the Lansing Winterfest. And I know earlier in February, it was a little too warm to feel like February in a Winterfest, but Colton, it's going to change a little bit heading into the weekend.
In a big way. Excuse me.
That's okay. Clear it out. Wow.
I was eating French fries. So
ooh, delicious.
But anyways, as we are talking about the weather, and tomorrow specifically, it's going to really feel like winter because temperatures are going to be in the 20s, so likely some of the coldest temperatures that we've seen since January.
You won't be used to this.
No, which is incredible because it's February and we should be used to it, but we're just not because of how warm it's been. But today, really, too, has been cold as well, and I've been looking at these current temperatures, and we're not warming up very much today. And most of us are still in the 20s at this time. So you can take the graphic there, and you can see it's only 27 right now in Lansing, 28 in Jackson. Also notice the snow icon there for Hillsdale and Coldwater. That's because there is a storm system passing to our south, clipping the far southern parts of mid-Michigan, but most of us are staying dry at this point. And we should stay dry outside of just a few flurries throughout the day. But what I did today, I counted a lot of things today. I like my numbers.
Look at you. That's good.
And so Lansing is currently on a 25-day streak of above average high temperatures. 25 days in a row. You have to go all the way back to January 21st.
That's absurd.
Before we saw a day that was below average. And what's also incredible, I don't have a graphic for this, but I looked at it. Low temperatures, so we're going to be dropping down into the teens tonight. Our average low is in the teens, but we have not seen a low temperature in the teens since the middle part of January. So it's just incredible how warm this winter has been.
It's a freaky February.
Yeah, and it's just not been feeling very cold, and we don't have a ton of cold on the way. We just do have some colder days in there, but nothing really that cold. And so this is adding to our streak here of the least number of days below 32, so below freezing since December 1st in Lansing. We've had only 11 days, and the average over the last 20 years was more than 30 days. So it's just pretty incredible that we just have not seen the cold, and we've seen some cold here or there, but it just hasn't stuck around. Obviously, that has big implications on the Great Lakes ice cover, which is virtually non-existent at this time.
Yeah, El Nino.
El Nino is a big factor for that, and it's just a very weird winter. But we're doing okay on snow. We're more than 12 inches behind normal, but we've seen some snow, but not a ton of snow.
Yeah, we could use more, but we'll see what we get.
Yeah, and we don't have a ton on the forecast moving forward, I can tell you. But over the next 12 hours, if you have any plans tonight, Friday night, temperatures will be dropping through the 20s. It's going to be cold. Make sure you bundle up. Hats, scarves, gloves, winter coats needed for today, as it is going to be a cold evening across mid-Michigan. And looking ahead to the weekend, yeah, look at that, 26 degrees tomorrow. And honestly, I may have to revise that down a little bit just because we didn't move much today. I thought we would get into the lower 30s today. We may not. We may stay in the upper 20s, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. But 26 degrees for Saturday. A few flurries will be possible, especially early in the day, but we should dry out later. And then Saturday night into Sunday, the winds are going to pick up. It's going to be a pretty windy weekend. I think both Saturday and especially on Sunday. I think Sunday probably has the stronger winds overall.
Any concerns out on the roadways or anything?
No, and I don't think there's any power outage concerns. It is going to be windy, but not that windy.
Okay.
We're talking wind gusts 30, 40 miles per hour, kind of similar to what we saw yesterday, and that will be on Sunday that we'll see the strongest winds from that. Now, I do want to show you satellite radar. There's that system I just mentioned that's to our south, just missing us. If you're a snow lover like me, it's very frustrating.
You're like, it's right there.
Yesterday's snow went north. This snow is going south. Nothing.
Do you feel left out?
I do
feel
left
FOMO.
out. It hurts my feelings.
I'm sorry, Colton.
But they're expected to see several inches of snow if I can move the camera down there. There's supposed to be several inches of snow for our friends down in Illinois, Indiana. They haven't seen a ton of snow either, so I guess they were due as well. But just a few flurries are clipping the area, and I don't expect much more than that, as that system will continue to move away from us. And then looking at the hour-by-hour forecast, again, like I mentioned, any Friday night plans, they should be okay. But then watch what happens tonight. I do think there will be some lake effect snow showers that develop off of Lake Michigan. I don't really think that this is a huge deal for us. However, a few of those snow showers may sneak in. It's not widespread, it's not heavy, but maybe enough to coat the roads for a second. So there could be some slippery conditions tonight and into tomorrow morning, but I don't expect anything widespread. And that snow shower chance will only be in the morning tomorrow. I think once we head into the afternoon, we'll start to dry out. But it is going to be a cold day, like I mentioned. So if you have any plans tomorrow, it's going to be colder with temperatures in the 20s, some of the coldest air that we've seen in quite some time, which is just incredible because 20s is not really that cold.
No, especially for February.
Yeah, especially for Michigan.
Yeah.
But it is this year for some reason. Now, looking at the wind gusts, I mentioned this earlier. Wind gusts will be, this is Saturday morning, by the way, so this is going through the day Saturday. We'll have winds coming in from the west, gusting anywhere between 20 to 30 miles per hour. So it is going to be a windy day tomorrow, but I think the winds get a tad stronger heading into Sunday, and you can see that the colors change there, a little more purple showing up. So those are the stronger wind gusts that are possible on Sunday. Likely 20, 30, maybe 35 miles per hour coming in from the west. So just keep that in mind. Weekend looks a little windy across the region, but moving forward here, average highs up to 34. And we will be climbing above freezing or above average once again Sunday. And then we stay in the 40s and then eventually near 50 degrees on Wednesday. And then we cool down again towards next weekend. And then we warm up again after that. So if you were to draw a roller coaster,
this would be it.
So we're going down,
up, woo!
So it's definitely a roller coaster ride in terms of temperatures. And it will continue too, even as we look into the end of February. Looks like another warm-up is coming.
All right.
But that could be followed by another cool down as we head into March. So we'll see what ends up happening. But strange winter. This has to be one of the weirdest winters I can remember in terms of forecasting. Just no real snow, no real cold, and just kind of blah.
And when we got the snow, it didn't stick around for long. It would get warm and then it'd just go away.
Yeah, this winter is going to be remembered by that 1 week in January that it was super cold, and then the rest of it has been kind of on the mild side, which I'm sure some people are happy about. Yeah. But I just always think about the snowplow companies, those that like to snowmobile.
They rely on the snow for their business.
Yeah, ice fishermen. All those, you know, people rely on the snow, and we just have seen absolutely nothing. The snow and ice, and we have not seen very much at all.
Yeah, and we're in Michigan, so typically, you know, you want to get all 4 seasons. Maybe you don't want a severe winter season, but even just getting more of those wintry conditions, yeah, it's kind of sad that we don't have it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know you like the winter.
I do like the winter, and this is very disappointing to me.
I know.
But it's okay. You know, here's to next winter, maybe.
Cheers.
Yes. We could be in a La Nina by next winter, so we'll see what happens. The La Nina winters typically do mean a little bit more snowy for us, but we'll see what happens.
Okay, well, we will continue to check back in with you, Colton.
Yes. It's always fun to watch the El Nino, La Nina. I know we kind of talk about it quite a bit, but it does have big implications on our weather, especially winter weather. So we'll see what ends up happening.
All right. Well, thank you. We'll see you at 3 o'clock.
Correct.
Sounds good for Studio 10. And before that, the First Alert weather app if you're heading outside or want to check on your weekend forecast.
Yep, and download it today. It's free in the Google Play and App Store. We post updates in there all day long, whether the weather is quiet or if it's a little bit more active, we'll have updates in there for you.
Sounds good, Colton. We'll see you on Studio 10 coming up at 3 o'clock in 45 minutes here, and then followed by First at 4, and then you will see Andy Provenzano in for our 90 minutes of news. One more time as you're taking a look at the First Alert weather app, again, completely free off of Google Play, the Apple App Store. I do want to show one last look at your 10-day temperature trend, just to get an idea of what that's looking like for the next 10 days. And then getting a live look over downtown Jackson, because like Colton said, that snow system moving in toward Illinois and Indiana today. Well, if you are in more southern Michigan, you may be seeing some flurries, but that will have no impacts at all. But just be aware, again, downtown Jackson, just taking a live look since that is more southern Michigan. So there you go. I do want to share what else we have coming up today, starting with First at 4 and then followed by our 90 minutes of news. So here we go. This is what we have coming up for this Friday on Mid-Michigan Matters today. We are talking with a Michigan State University expert on a study they're doing for AI stuttering technology, helping people who have stutters improve that understanding, being able to help them have conversations with others and be understood. So we're going to share all of those resources helping, again, people with stutters through this AI technology over at Michigan State University. Very interesting, all coming up on First at 4 during Mid-Michigan Matters today. Coming up, News 10 at 5. Happening now, the Shut It Down for Palestine rally is at the state capitol. Our News 10's Jordan Burrell will be live, and she will have more coming up, News 10 at 5 p.m. And then coming up, News 10 at 5:30 today, Riley Connell shares what programs are out there for Black business owners to find success in Michigan. She's speaking with Black business owners and organizations working to bring more diversity to the small business world. And then coming up, News 10 at 6, News 10's Erin Bowling is sitting in on the trial of Thomas Olson. She was talking about that yesterday. So again, continuing this, focusing on this information, going more into the trial. She'll have more coming up on the murder of Bath Township hunter Chong Yang. Again, that was over 5 years ago in Bath Township. So Erin Bowling back in trial again today, or for covering the trial, excuse me, and we'll have the details on the trial for Thomas Olson coming up, News 10 at 6. Now, I also want to share a little great tool that's great to have on your phone, something that I have on my phone. I know a lot of us around here have have this resource, and it's a You're Not Alone mental health series, focusing on your emotional well-being no matter what state of mentality you may be in, whether that's stress, anxiety, depression, no matter what you may be going through. Maybe you just need to talk to someone, you're not really sure what's going on. Well, this is a great place to start. That QR code on your screen, if you pull out your cell phone's camera, you're able to scan that QR code with your cell phone's camera. It'll pull up a link, just click on the link, and it'll give you a list of resources around mid-Michigan. And you can scroll through the different counties to see which resources are closer to you in your area. And then from there, if those resources aren't the ones for you, know that they are used as guidance, so feel free to find the right resource for you, but know that you're not alone. All year long here on News 10, we are sharing stories, whether that's live interviews on Mid-Michigan Matters. Studio 10 has had multiple stories. David and Ann also having stories, and our reporters also having stories with community members, speaking on their own mental health journey and how they also want you to know that you're not alone. And they speak on their experiences of the signs and symptoms they've had, the stigma that was revolved around that, and making it hard to bring awareness and awareness to this mental health journey that they were going on. So being aware of it and then connecting with that help, getting that help to get you out of this, and just talking with others is always a great place. And, you know, finding that person who can provide professional guidance and someone that you can confide in. So that is why we want to provide these resources for you, whether it's for you or someone else. Know that you're not alone. Again, you can hear from community members and healthcare professionals. So that is what we have coming up today on News 10. I do want to give one more quick live look outside, and that way you're able to see anything going on out there. If you're hitting the roads, we just want to make sure you know what they're looking like. So yesterday we were showing US 127, which had all the snow and lots of accidents being reported. Oh, there goes a bird. As you're seeing, roads are much clearer now. They look pretty dry. And traffic seems to be moving very smoothly along US 127. Taking a live look over Delta Township, same thing over there. Looks like roadways are pretty smooth. And also looks like traffic's moving along just fine. But yeah, decent amount of cars over there. So no matter where you are today, again, you can always download that First Alert weather app onto your phone. Great tool to have, especially as we get more of those February-like wintry conditions moving in this weekend. Again, dropping into the mid-20s and possibly even lower 20s happening this weekend. So make sure you're bundling up as you head out the door this weekend, getting those gloves, hats, scarves, your winter jacket, of course, maybe some boots, hand warmers, whatever is going to keep you warm and cozy. Hot chocolate, that's always good. And then, of course, whatever you're doing this weekend, just make sure you're staying up to date. Studio 10 has great ideas if you want to get outside. Check in with our meteorologists, Colton Cichoracki, Andy Provenzano, and Justin Bradford. Will be covering from the remainder of today and then into the weekend. So that's what you have looking forward to on News 10 for the rest of today on this Friday, as well as this weekend. And you can watch Studio 10 coming up at 3 o'clock today, just under 40 minutes, followed by First at 4 and our 90 minutes of news. So have a great Friday, everyone, and a fantastic weekend.